Hey everyone, Jeff Blank here for Tee to Green, and welcome to another edition of Forecapping, where I'll be breaking down the best bets for the PGA Championship taking place at Aronimink Golf Club in Newton Square, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia here. So we're heading a little bit up north. Obviously, the first major of the season in Augusta, Georgia. Rory McIlroy winning the Masters, but mostly from a PGA Tour standpoint, they've been playing in Florida, Texas, California, really in the south, a little warmer weather. They got hit with a little colder weather to start the practice rounds at Aronimink, but should warm up by the weekend. Should be a great event. So we're going to get into my keys at Aronimink Golf Club, as well as my 5 outright bets of the week. But I want to mention we are brought to you by Batavia Downs. Batavia Downs is excited to bring back the Rockin' the Downs concert series in 2026. If you head over to bataviaconcerts.com, you can get a listing not only of the Rockin' the Downs concert series lineup, but all the events leading up to it, including this Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. at the Batavia Downs Park Place Event Center. They got the 2026 Tacos and Tequila Fest, which sounds real good. Early bird tickets can be found, again, bataviaconcerts.com, $30 for the Tacos and Tequila Fest, followed by Batavia Downs Catches the Polka Buzz with John Stevens. That'll be Thursday, May 21st at 7 p.m. Again, the Park Place Event Center. And that's all leading up to late June. Actually starts on Friday, June 26, 4 p.m. Again, outdoors at Batavia Downs. The Spinners will be kicking off the Rockin' the Downs concert series. So again, head over to bataviaconcerts.com and get your tickets. Okay, we're going to jump into PGA Championship outright bets of the week. We're going to get into my model here. So I'm going to show that. It's on betspurtsgolf.com. You can create your own model. Great site if you're looking to dive in some of the data on the PGA Tour and into the majors here. So we're going to lead off with my long shot of the week, JJ Spawn, 94-1. So why don't we find JJ here? Actually, he's already selected as a favorite, and we'll go into some of the metrics, not only for JJ, but for the course here. So as always, heading into an event, whether it's PGA Tour or the majors, I'm looking at form heading into the event. So last 20 rounds, strokes gained total, last 8 rounds as well. JJ Spawn, top 20 in both. So he's bringing relatively good form, considering the odds he has. 94-1 is pretty long for JJ Spawn, somebody who can be streaky, but has also won a major in his career. Strokes gained approach, most important metric anytime you're looking at golf or PGA Tour events. So JJ Spawn's fourth in the last 20 rounds in strokes gained approach, 14th in the last 8 rounds. So he's bringing in great form, and he's got, again, from an iron play perspective, really well. He's pretty accurate off the tee, so distance from the edge of the fairway, just to give some context here. Aronimink golf course, it's pretty much all in front of you. It's not a gimmicky golf course. It's not too tight, but you do need to position yourself off the tee in order to have the right angles into these difficult greens. They've been described as potato chip greens with the waviness, a lot of runoff areas, a lot of bunkering with the Donald Ross designed golf course. So distance is important, 100% important, but where you place it off the tee to give yourself the best angles to get close to the pins is going to be important. Scrambling, JJ hasn't been great, but any PGA Championship, especially this golf course and this setup, you are going to miss greens. Your ability to get up and down, avoid bogeys is going to be important. This could be kind of that one weakness area, which could be driving the odds up for JJ Spawn at 94-1. And as you start to look at some of the other metrics, strokes gained total on comparable courses. So the PGA Tour does not play at Aronimink every year. So to get the proper data set, we're kind of looking at a broader sample of comparable courses, strokes gained total. So JJ Spawn kind of better than field average, we'll say, at 44th, and then strokes gained total in the PGA Championship, which has its own set of individuals that set up the course, determine the pins, and they have kind of their own feel for how they do things. So I have put strokes gained total at PGA Championship in here. JJ Spawn hasn't performed that well, but again, we're looking at a long shot of the week, 94-1. Okay, a couple outsiders, mid-tier. We got Brooks Koepka at 40-1 and Ricky Fowler at 72-1. So we'll find both of those gentlemen on here. So Fowler and Koepka, looking at the same metrics. And what you'll notice about these two, really good form heading into this event, not only in the last 20 rounds, but they've actually both improved in the last couple events, where Ricky is 7th in the last 8 rounds in strokes gained total. You might recall last week was contending to win the event, just came up short. Brooks Koepka 6th, and he's 13th in the last 20 round strokes gained total. Both bringing pretty good iron play into this event. Fowler was kind of middle tier in the last 20 round strokes gained approach, but has now become top 10 in the last 8 rounds. Brooks has been phenomenal with his irons all season. First in strokes gained approach in the last 20 rounds, 5th in the last 8 rounds. Distance from the edge of the fairway, Ricky has dialed in his driver, which has been a weakness, we'll say, in the last few years. He has sprayed the ball, but he's kept it relatively under control, whereas Koepka, I just always have visions of Koepka hitting that pretty draw at the PGA Championship, and he's been a little off with the driver. Now he has gone away from Shrixon, so maybe he's going to put something else in the bag. We'll see. Try to dial in that driver and position himself for the approach shots, which he's been spectacular at. Scrambling, tale of 2 sides here. So Ricky's been phenomenal scrambling, as well as bogey avoidance, whereas Brooks has definitely struggled here. Strokes gained total at comparable course, Brooks Koepka, excuse me, has been top 10 when you look at comparable courses. Ricky top 3rd in the field, and then strokes gained total at the PGA Championship, both pretty good. Obviously, Brooks has 2 PGA Championships in his resume, or on his resume, whereas Ricky top 20, so he's done well here, just has not secured the win. So Ricky at 72 to 1, Brooks Koepka 40 to 1. All right, next we're going to go into contenders. So I have Cam Young 16 to 1, Matt Fitzpatrick at 23 to 1. So we'll find them on here. All right, and then metrics. So heading into the event, obviously Cameron Young has been on a hot streak, best streak of his career, first in strokes gained total in the last 20 rounds and the last 8 rounds. Matt Fitzpatrick had been on a heater, winning twice. He's 4th in strokes gained total in the last 20 rounds, 21st in the last 8 rounds. So he's cooled off a little bit, but that's all relative. I mean, 21st really is pretty good heading into the event. Strokes gained total, both were top 10 in the last 20 rounds. Have cooled off a little bit with the iron play, but again, the reason Cameron Young has won has not been his iron play anyway. He's been phenomenal with his short game, scrambling and putting here. Distance from the edge of the fairway, both pretty good here. Cam Young is a bomber, but also has precision associated with it. If you remember TPC Sawgrass when he won the Players Championship, that drive off of 18 and where he put that was incredible. So he has the ability to position off the tee. And then Matt Fitzpatrick, sneaky long. He's gotten a lot longer over the last 5 years, but contains some accuracy with that as well. And around the greens, kind of scrambling, Cam Young, like I mentioned, has been real good. It's been leading to a lot of his performance this year, as well as bogey avoidance, which kind of includes the putting aspect of it. Matt Fitzpatrick with the cross-handed grip when it comes to chipping and pitching, interesting, but it works for him. He's top 20 in scrambling, almost top 20 in scrambling, and almost top 10 in bogey avoidance. Comparable courses, Cameron Young looks pretty good here, top 20. Fitzpatrick's kind of top half of the field. And then strokes gained total at the PGA Championship, 32nd and 24th, respectively. So Cam Young, 16 to 1, Matt Fitzpatrick, 23 to 1. So those are my outright bets of the week. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jeff Blank T2G. You can also follow our entire team at T2G Buffalo on Twitter and Instagram. So we got a show coming up, our radio show coming up this Saturday. It's a 2-hour special for the PGA Championship. We're going to be at the Western New York PGA. We'll be breaking down all the action from the first 2 rounds and what we think is going to happen on the weekend at the PGA Championship. We will be on the air at WGR as well as streaming on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So I hope you follow along with us. And I appreciate watching the video this week. Wishing you good luck and enjoy the event.